Boom, boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. What's going on, everybody? I'm just reposting this real quick so people might join. I'm going to be doing some plan corrections. This is a continuation of what I was doing yesterday with an impromptu live session. So for those of you that watched that, you probably picked up some little fun macro things and me building a few things. Yeah. What am I doing here? Let's see. I want to review where I ended up leaving off because I did a lot of work after I ended that live show. So we're just going to take a quick look at what all I've done. I still haven't really touched my G1 page, G2 page. A2 ended up doing a few corrections and just cleanup. I probably still have some more cleanup because I've got a few call outs here that don't belong in the plan view. And then I finished building out elevations, blocked off that terrain, which I like the look of that. I added shadows to my elevations. All these point markers are element-based locations, so I could actually delete all those because I'm finished laying out. All my layout's done, so I get to delete all points just by hitting the delete key. There we go. So that's a nice clean look. You can see here I've got some bubbling going on for some corrections. I still need to add a cross-section view here. And then I want to add some cross-section markers to show in this view that where this cross-section is. That would be helpful. Did a little bit of bubbling on this page. Everything's nice and organized the way I want it to be. I finished my second floor braced wall panel setup. But I don't know how this keeps happening, but I keep losing things that I've been doing. I think that it's on the undo function. First story framing plan. Yeah, like I'm missing a whole second story framing plan, I guess. I guess there wasn't a second story framing plan. But these two notes, I'm just going to make them redundant and go on the next page because they're applicable. There's my roof plan. My roof framing plan is nice and clean. Roof framing notes, the heading is wrong on that. Oops, double click the wrong thing there. This needs to be double the size. Or no, 8 divided by 48. That's what that needed to be. There we go. I took some color and changed the line styles and line weights of floor framing members on this page, or ceiling framing members, I should say. I thought about redoing these schedules, but I'm not going to. And then here gets into my cross-section stuff. And actually, let's see. Yeah, some of these updates got reverted back somehow. I'm not sure how. I want this window order overview to be in the same spot as this guy right here. So I need to put that point marker back real quick. There we go. Snap that to that. I like the way that these elevations turned out and the way that this is organized. This just shows those two rooms, those two elevations, shows the cameras, shows our schedule. You need to do a little bit of cleanup on the schedules. Kind of the same thing. Got all those elevations. All these are lined up. They're rolling, so they're going in a U shape around the room, which I think is a really smart look. It reads really well. And then we've got our, general elevations, dimensions on the left and right side of the outmost elevation views. I think that just reads really, really well. And these elevations look clean. I loved just doing the method of back clip, side clip, so that we can get these dimensions off to the side. Just reads really clean. I like it. Everything's in the same location. So we got schedules, same locations. Cool. Easy to read this floor plan. All my cabinet callouts are now reading correctly. This was all fixed in last session. Same thing. Really easy to read this. Vanity sink, wall cabinet, except for that this wall cabinet is actually not showing in the view. There we go. That would be it. I need some like break lines and would be good. Let's just make sure again that I got that place point in this. Maybe I'll just leave this one. Just want to make sure that this is snapped to where I want it. There we go. Same place, every page. It's kind of brilliant of the point that it just can live on every page without having to do something on page 0. Just need some break lines here. This is just a continuation of the previous view, really. We can do a place point on this edge so that we come forward and snap this. There we go. And then there we go. And now we get to go back through. And now that I've got all that laid out, I actually get to do my corrections. Finally, I've been working on this plan for so long. Getting this plan corrected. So I've got my corrections list on the left-hand side here. One is we needed a Class A roofing and elevations and provide ICC report. If you didn't know it, I have something in my website that helps out with this, but I also think that I'm going to redo the whole resources tab on my website so that it's easier to access this and see and know that it's there. But the resources tab has a lot of cool stuff in it. One of which is code lookup and resources. And then when you get in here, you got a building code restrictive search, which will just search Google, but specifically certain sites that I use, like the NEC or upcodes. And then 2 is that we're searching, well, I've got a code interpreter here. So you can do stuff like state and show all WUI requirements per including soft detail and provide ICC report. I can highlight this and go, what does this refer to or mean? And code interpreter kind of figure that out. So that's the wildland urban interface requirements. And first section R337, and then it does a breakdown of those requirements. So WI provisions aim to reduce the risk of fire damage to structures in areas where wildfires are concerned. So this is in South Lake Tahoe, a big wildfire location. So the soffit's referring to the roof overhang. And so we need to find those WUI requirements for roof overhang. So what you can do is use my search engine. I also think you might, maybe you can take this back to this and say, give me a breakdown of soffit requirements from this URL. I don't know if we can look up URLs or not. Let's see. Don't have browsing capabilities. So you'd have to come to some kind of paid ChatGPT kind of a thing. Non-combustible ventilation opens installation methods. And so then we need a ICC report, which is this guy, ICC Evaluation Services and Reports Directory, and we could search reports. And what are we looking for? Let's see. Multi-year compare R33, R337.1 IRC. Jump to chapter. R337. Roofing. So I got my Class A fire roofing material. Okay. So since this is not my building design, I do need to come back here and kind of get an idea of what's even being designed here. We've got a really shallow overhang. Let's just kick color off so we can see some things here. No, that doesn't help. Switch to vector. Vector's so slow to move. Look at that. Yeah, so he's got soffits in these overhangs, and some of the overhangs are super shallow. So how are we planning to vent those would be the big thing. I mean, these are so shallow, I don't even know how you get a soffit vent in there. And I think the detail is I'm just going to do like a stucco vent, line vent. Fire stopping continuous soffit vent. So let's get back into ICC and see if we can't do. Where was my ICC? Must have had this on a new tab. Oh, there it is. Okay. What do we want? We want vent. And what do we even call that vent? We call it a soffit vent. Let's see if it finds that. Nothing. Okay. Soffit panel, siding and soffit, certainty vinyl, siding and soffit. Okay, let's go back to searching vent. Or save a ridge vent, which we will need. So we'll need an ICC report for that. And I should name these according to what I'm saving them as so that it's easier for me to find. So this first one was going to be roofing material. What would you even call a soffit vent if soffit vent's not coming up? Smart vent, continuous attic intake vent under shingle. Oh, interesting. Not using that. I don't usually work in wildlife urban zones, so I don't know this stuff. I guess we could do a sealed vent system. I never remember exactly how that all works. Let's go. Let's go back to my setup here. Ventilation area, type of ventilation, passive vents, mechanical vents. Yes, sealed vent. In a sealed vent system where the attic is sealed from conditioned spaces, special considerations are needed. Continuous ventilation. Ensure that there are both intake, usually soffit vents, and exhaust roof vents to create a continuous airflow. So it still wants soffit vents. Ridge vents aren't long enough to provide the proper venting for that. I think there's something else for with sealed vents. I think we're missing some detail here. I wish I had someone on my call that I know. Alan Lehman. I know he uses sealed vent systems for his roofs. Nice, Pino. Look up Vulcan vents. They have emmer resistant soffit underfloor and roof vents. Um, the only problem that I see is because I'm very familiar with Vulcan vents. Um, the only problem is it has to have an ICC report for this particular municipality. California's always got to be a pain in the ass. Pain in the ass. So if it doesn't have an ICC report, you got to go like pay for it to get a report, which is not something you're gonna do. Let's just check this out. Let's see if Vulcan comes in on here. Oh, Vulcan does come in. Vulcan vent. Yeah, cool. What are we looking at? The SL1445. Let's just download all of these, I guess. And maybe we can get away with providing some of these and not all of these. Let's see what these are even. Vulcan vent. Which one are we talking about, though? Oh, I guess this just says a lump models. Oh, here's our models. Okay. Continuous soffit inspection ridge vents. Okay. And they have some that are thin. And now I have to design them. Right? And I need a detail. Fun. So I need a soffit vent detail. And actually, let me see the original PDF. Where did my PDF go? Right here. Original PDF. Man, the original PDF looks so sloppy. So sloppy. So what roof details do we have here? I don't think I see any. No, 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 no. There are no roof end details. There's no roof details at all. How the heck are they building this roof without knowing how the heck they're building the roof? Interesting. Yeah, so I got to make my own. I told this person that I was just kind of gonna handle stuff for them. But I kind of did feel like this part should have been done already. What do we have here? All right. That looks like basically what I need here. And let's see if I can't conform one of my own details to this. And so we'll bring this back in. Let's go new plan file. And let's get into project browser, CAD details. And what do I have here? I probably have something really close. First of all, I want to use one of these for some flashing details, but all right, let's see. Maybe I have a stackable detail, which might be nice. And I might just send this. That'd be an idea. Let me do Shift N, brings up new layout. And can you copy a layout page to a different layout? Can I copy this page 13 to a different layout? Because that would be cool. I don't know if we can do that or not. Pages. You can do a duplicate, open, blah, 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 exchange with, no, you can't. That'd be pretty cool if you could do that. So I kind of want to do, I don't know that I need all the details that yeah. What do I want? Do I want a detail page or do I want to, I think I want a detail page. Okay, that's what we'll do. I'm gonna copy this. We're gonna kick to some blank page. Duplicate this page, go back a page, paste hold position in the wrong area. This is based on like a quadrant setup here. So all my callouts are going to be screwed up. What does the NFVA stand for? Use the standard view detail. Gotcha. Copy, but still only to. Well, yeah, you could copy the contents. I was wondering if you could actually copy the page, like we can now copy CAD details. But no, you can't copy the page, which I wish we could. That'd be pretty slick. This whole system's based on a coordinate grid. And because their layout page was on a different XY, This messed up my macro for it. My macro helps link callouts so that we are limiting liability, thing I always talk about. All right, let's see if I can fix this macro real quick. This is my DLR macro. The center of D1X. So that's all this takes. This is a really cool little script here. So all I need to know is the center of this, which is that right there. This spot right there. So the center of this is 3 1/8 and negative 3 5/16. So that's all I need here is 3 point, let's just go 2. And what was the other one I said? Negative 3.2, something like that. I think that was it. There we go. See, that just fixed all of them. Isn't that cool? Yeah. Cool. So now I can build off of one of these details like this guy right here. And actually going to probably put him where this guy is, right here. So that's just framing rafter plate condition. Let's just relink it. And I don't care that this is in a different plan. Oh, net-free ventilation area. Gotcha. You're saying they have different styles for different. Oh, you just wait. We are going to build a net-free vent area calculation system, believe it or not. Stick around for that. That's coming up. That is coming up. Framing, rafter, plate connection. These labels are too big, so I need to fix that. But here's what I want to do. I want to use this guy, and we're going to paste a little reference here. Whoops, what happened there? We're going to paste this little reference here. Oh, shoot, guys. I forgot that I have music on in the background. You know what that means? It means I'm going to get flagged. Hate it when I get flagged. Okay, I gotta fix this. So macro designations, and we're gonna say that roof, comp shingle roof is gray, so roof style, metal standing seam roof as manufactured. Okay, so we're gonna open that up. Let's go. I don't remember what this was. It was by custom built, metal built. Something like that. All right, but that needs to go in the number 1 spot and open that row object, and it's going to designate it for this detail. Metal standing seam. I don't care that we show the rafter. I don't care that we show block stuff. Don't even really want to show what the insulation is, although all that stuff should be called out. I really wish when you crossed a polyline on itself, it just cut everything. I've been saying that forever. I don't know why we can't get that. Get Chief to give us that. It'd be really awesome. Would be awesome. Okay, what am I doing here? Besides spacing out. They have a. I'm not sure that they have a heel height truss system in this or not. I need to go look. What do you got here? Manufactured truss by others. Yeah, it's just sitting on the roof. These aren't actually trusses. Okay, I see what's going on here. I mean, the way they had these drawn. I don't like it. I don't want to be in charge of this particular bit of problematic liability. Yeah, they really need a tool to just snap one to another really easily. Hold shift will put me up like that. Yeah. It's going to be something like this, right? Boy, I am not in detail drawing mode right now. I feel like this is a mistake to even try to do right now. Just not in that headspace. Nope. Really not. How would this connection work? Hmm. Something like that. The heck? There you go. I'm going to have this guy review this and fix this. I don't know what his actual plan is. So there you go. There you go. Let's get a little wood in here. Something like that. Bum, bum, ba, bum, bum, bum. In the realm of terrible drawings that I have done in my life, detailed drawings, this is not the worst I've ever done. So something there, right? Okay. Get rid of this. Oh shoot! I wonder what I was modifying. I'm modifying. I'm modifying a plan I don't really want to be modifying. That's kind of funny. So let's save this and as details. There we go. Don't save. Title 7 or Title 6. Cool. Cool. All right. Should we do a attic vent system somehow? I think I need to build that off of a new plan. So let's save this. And new plan. And so what do we get from a roof plan here? First of all, let's just create some gables. So what is a roof report? It's not a ton of info. Valley flashing length. Valley flashing length. Interesting. I kind of like that. Visible length. Sure. Surface area. We don't want surface area. We want, unless we take some kind of projected area. Projected overhang area. Projected area minus projected overhang area. All right, so we need a few things here. So let's bring up, I like to show people how to use the resources on my website, even though it's not my preferred place to do coding. You can do coding on my site. So resources, Chief Architect Ruby macro scripting. And that'll build this little sidebar here. And so what I need first off is Let's see. We're going to use the following variables. Projected underscore area, comma, projected underscore overhang underscore area. And what else? Ridge vent length. And so we need to create a vent system based on that. But we also need what do we need? We need to understand what the net free area is of the ridge vent. When we have a ridge vent. And then that should tell me how many linear feet of soffit vent I need. Or projected area, projected rafter info. There's got to be some kind of length here. Let's just use my search tool instead. Eve fascia length, Eve fascia depth, drip edge length, Eve fascia length. Or gable fascia length, as it were. Interesting that it gives us both, but really we only need Eve fascia length. What's the other one we could use? Overhang area 3D. Pattern pitch, projected area average. Sloped edge flashing length. Family flashing length, visible length. Soffit area. Material soffit thickness. Okay. Eve fascia length. And then let's get to one of my other resources, which is, let's go back to Rabbit Design. Yeah. Oh, I need to fix that. Rabbit Design. Code lookup and load up bot. How do we calc net free ventilation area for roofs? Let's see. So there's two calcs that happen, right? If we don't have a ridge vent, then it changes the calc. Except for in the case of this building, I'm always going to have a ridge vent because it's gable. So just assume everything. This is the problem with this particular script. There's no way to tell that some adjacent roof line doesn't have a ridge vent. So like, okay, this is why I've always had trouble figuring this out. Here's what we got. The problem with Chief is that we can't take a sum total of a row and use that in a calc. So you have to do a calc for each line item, meaning each roof plane. The problem with that is we can't assume that, if I show this real quick, show that this is a gable end, what's going to happen is this roof is going to read that it doesn't have a ridge vent because it's a hip roof. but the area that it lives over does in fact have a ridge vent. So the calc should be the 1/300th versus the 1/150th. So there's no way for Chief to somehow tell that this attic is over the top of some room that has a ridge vent. So that's the big problem. You could, I guess, okay, so here's an approach. All right. This macro is going to report from the roof publisher. I need to check what? Maybe supplier? Check, because if we open up this roof, we have an OIP in this, yeah. So we can check any one of these, code, comment, etc. I think supplier is probably an easy one to use. Maybe we'll use code. I'll use code. Need to check component underscore code for yes, which would indicate a calc based on having a ridge vent or not. And then if it has a ridge vent, then we need to be back to how do we calc this? Every 300 square foot of attic floor area. Okay. It has a ridge vent. How does this work? I actually have a calc for foundation vents already, so we should probably start from that. Would give us a pretty good base code. This guy right here, foundation vents per schedule. So this, we go look up. I probably have an NFA, foundation NFA maybe? How are we doing this? Let's go open the row object. Information. Interesting. None of that info is there. Where is it? Where are we getting this info? NFA, let's open the schedule. If we reset this, area standard. Okay, so NFA is just coming from area standard. And reset. Let's copy this, reset it. NFA percentage. NFA percentage has to be a custom field. And there's no value there. I don't know. Oh, well, that's half the problem. That's why it's not calculating anything. The macro doesn't actually live there. I built this in a previous version of this and I forgot to transfer it over. Boy, that would have been a mistake. Glad we caught up to that. So we just opened an old 1515. There's one 1515. Here's another. Foundation vents. See, this one has it. Ha, 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 ha. NFA percent wrap. Okay. So that's interesting. Text macro management. Oh, there it is. Export. Look at that. NFA percent. Let's just do another one. Close this down. Close that down. Bam. Import NFA percent. Oh, I already had one. It just wasn't being used. Okay. And now let's figure out, how is this used? So I want to use Claude. This is going to be a difficult script. See if we can make any sense of that. Total roof area equals projected area plus predicted overhang. No, not predicted. Who put predicted? Did I put predicted? Projected. I'm just going to stick with repairing one thing at a time in this script. So we'll see how this goes. And you put this code in a side window. It's not in the side window. What's happening here? There we go. Okay. Okay. Divisor equals component code equals yes. Yeah. Okay. Total roof area, projected area minus predicted. It's not predicted. Required vent area equals total roof area to F divided by divisor required vent area square inches required vent area. Okay. Vent area. Yes. And then I need to plug in some calc for the ridge vent net free area that I'm going to use. So we're getting there. Next is, oh, where's our support ICC stuff? That is Vulcan, XCC continuous soffit inspection ridge vents. Soffit inspection ridge vents. Vulcan vents. Okay. Let's just grab one of these. Let's just say we're going to use cable vents, storm vents, soffit vents, Vulcan matrix, sub-base flashings. I mean, we could have done cable vents, but yeah, whatever. Let's do this 2-inch 2120, 100.8. 100.8. So how does that work? 100.8 per 10 foot. Okay, 100.8. .8 per 10 foot of length. And then I need a vent that's going to be based on polyline. And we will take area. No, what are we going to do? I need a number of vents per, let's see. I need to know the number of vents per net free area of linear feet of soffit vent. Kind of the same thing. I'm kind of going to use that same number. I don't think AI is going to figure this out, but we'll see how it does, because I wasn't very good in my explanation. Okay, so divisor equals component code. If component code says yes, that means that that particular roof plane has a ridge vent, and it should make its divisor 300. Total roof area equals projected area minus projected overhang area. That's all correct. Required vent area equals total roof area to divisor. Yes. Okay. And then we're converting that to square inches. Available vent area currently equals 0. If component code does equal yes, then ridge vent NFA equals ridge vent length times 100.8 divided by 10 feet. Okay. Required soffit NFA equals ridge vent NFA. No, that's not true. Oh, no, that is true. Required soffit length equals required soffit NFA. Yeah. Divided by that 100 divided by 2. Available vent area equals ridge vent. Else available vent area equals eve fascia length. Wait, otherwise available vent area equals eve fascia length times 9 times 2. This is all good except for how does available vent area work in the else condition? This should just be calcing to show needed linear foot of soffit NFA at 100.8 divided by 10 feet. If you're confused by this, it's confusing. Boy, that just made it simpler. What's going on here? If component code equals, let's just test this. I don't even feel like reading it. Let's just test it. Let's put it back in the chief where we get a new plan. And what are we doing then? We've got working roofs. Let's make one a gable end. Let's take all these roofs. Let's take one of these roofs, build our NFA percent roof, evaluate updink and owner object. Look at that, 17.09. I don't know what that means. Let's check it out real quick. One is that we are going to say that this has a ridge vent. Yes, in the code here. Whatever, okay. Did that change anything? It did. It did change something, but that number is way wrong. Way, way wrong. Let's open schedule up. Let's object information, and if let's just put this in macro number input 1. And I don't know what we think this is in terms of formatting. When this was ridge vent, it changed this drastically. Look at how big a difference that is. It might be a case that we're just getting measurement classes confused, because Chief will report in certain measurement types sometimes when you don't want it to. Let's make sure to convert all variables to floats so we aren't fighting the measurement class and units are predictable. Okay, now let's try that. So it's still 101 float, and let's just say, and we'll change this quote right here. Let's just say no instead of yes. or sure. Now what happens? 17. Yeah, that number doesn't make sense. So something's wrong. Some kind of unit conversion's wrong. Oh. Ooh. I think I need a break, but I should come back once I solve this little riddle. What do we have here? We've got some. Have I learned? No, I have not. Oh, that's not true. I've been working on it. My Ruby scripting stuff works pretty well for the most part. Question for future stream or on and how to adjust a macro to show rough ceiling highs with room label, not finished dimensions. Now, if my ceiling is 10 foot, I have to add 1 inch to have presented 10-foot ceiling. You want rough instead of, how does it currently work? Let's just check out how it currently works. Ceiling height grab currently does finished ceiling elevation, finished floor elevation. So you would have to replace all finished ceiling, finished floor with something. Or you could yeah, no, that'd be tricky. Why would you be doing that, by the way? Curious. You're trying to have your framing heights as opposed to your finish heights? Seems uncommon. You have to come in here to the script and change all the finished ceiling elevations to something else. To what would it be? Let's see. You would do I have to get into such a crazy state of mind to do some of these scripts. Well, here, let's do it this way. Use our search tool. Throw this in the room so that you see what's being reported here. And we could say measurement, ceiling, floor. So ceiling elevation, it's probably rough. Maybe rough. Floor elevation is 0, which finished floor elevation, finished ceiling elevation. So you're just changing this word. You'd have to do a search. So you'd have to come into the macro and do this. You would do ceiling, where is it? Ceiling height rab. And this just got rewritten for the next version. So you're going to have to do this again because I added some function or fixed some function or something. But typically bring this into Notepad++, do a little new action on this, do this, go fine, go finish ceiling elevation, which it's saying it's not getting. Oh, wait, what are you trying to do? Let's see. Yeah, finished ceiling elevation, you would replace that. That's what you do. You'd replace all with ceiling elevation. Oops, that's goofy. That's what that would look like. Replace all, and then we'd go replace all. Hopefully. Don't ask me. Don't know if this works. Yeah, that worked. See? Although that was 7/8 plus 5/8, so something's being rounded. It's being rounded up. So Control F, round. Oh, but I do give it an option whether or not you want to round the ceiling height or not. And where's that coming from? Suppose that's all I'm finding for round. So I'm doing it in some other script. Pain in the ass. That means I'm doing it all options. Room label options. Somewhere in here. Round ceiling height. No, I'm not doing it there. I don't know where the hell I'm rounding it. Oh, it's the formatter I'm using. 1/8" formatter applies ceiling elevation. Okay. So formatter, 1/8" formatter. Use fractions, true. Denominator's 8. So that shouldn't be messing with it. This is a complex system, man. You could just make your own. Oh, so the next version of this does give us the capability of overriding. Check this out. So you'll notice Foyer says 8'5", but if you actually go into this, it's not an 8'5" ceiling. So the actual ceiling height is 9 foot. The reason it says 8'5" is in the object information panel, I have this script here. And so this script applies a number formatter, initiates a number formatter, denominator, etc., equals 16, and then it's applying it to ceiling elevation minus floor elevation. And actually, in this case, that's wrong for me. I should have said finished. But this is where you could do it. You could override it right here. But this is in the next version of the Pro Plan, which I haven't uploaded yet. So the next version looks, the ceiling height macro looks to code. And if code is there, it will overwrite with whatever's there. So you could even type in something here and it will overwrite in that way. 37, yeah, cool. I want to know, how do I change text symbol of smoke detector or any electrical symbol, text, not labels? You'd have to edit the CAD detail of the symbol. David, I have done that a ton of times in a ton of different ways, and it doesn't work out that well. There's too many ambiguous terms. There's too many like terms. There's too many redundant terms. There's too many terms that mean different things in different contexts within the manual. And then it just, on the whole, is not that great at searching the manual. So I do have a snippet of Ruby that's built into some of my Ruby scripting stuff where it explains the number formatter and it explains the measurement class. But other than that, it just doesn't do that well at especially processing a large amount of data like that. And I keep trying it every like 3 quarters or something. Um, and that was me responding to this. Feed it all the support pages for Chief to train for AI scripting. And then one more important question. I want to know, how do I create different slopes when designing a swimming pool? Reason for asking is I have a project in nature soon. What do you mean slopes? You want to slope the inside of the pool, you're going to have to create something that slopes, which is a ramp or a solid or a molding. My default ceiling set for 10 feet. When room label, it is said 9'11" ceiling height, always adding 1 inch to have presented 10 foot. I mean, if you wanted a default ceiling height of 10 foot, so like, let's just say we're going to name this, right? That's 8-foot ceiling height. So all we're going to do is get into the first floor defaults, add 24 inches. Because that rough ceiling is the actual plate length that we would cut typically. So that's showing 10 foot. I also never reference this info, so there's never a need for me to show this. Because, so what is it? It's 92 and 5/8 plus 3 plus 1.5. 95 and 5/8. Am I doing that right? No, I'm doing it wrong. 92 5/8 plus 3 plus 1.5. There you go. That's a pre-cut stud length, 97 and 1/8. That's what your rough ceiling comes out to. So that's what that's coming from. So your true 10-foot ceiling is a 121, etc. I just show you how that's derived. Your pre-cut stud length is 92 and 5/8 for an 8-foot ceiling. They don't have pre-cut stud lengths for a 10-foot, I don't think. Or yeah, they do. 116 and 5/8. So pre-cut stud length, check this out. This is how this happens. Pre-cut stud length is 116 and 5/8, right? And then your +3 for double plot top plate, and then your +1.5 inch for single bottom plate, 121 and 1/8. And that will make a 10-foot ceiling. So that would be standard. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I want to figure out this roof vent thing, but I need a break. Yeah, learn macros. Um, the number one reason, you'll hear me say this a lot, the number one reason to learn macros is it limits your potential liability for user-created errors, whether it be you drafting or someone else you're hiring drafting. Um, it makes it so that we are pulling information from the building model, which you're building anyways, and you're building at the spec and you're building at some defaults. So we're getting information from the model. So if the model's correct, then our information is correct, and then we are not leaning on user error, right? Um, so I don't need to type in ceiling height of a ceiling because I know that I punched this incorrectly, so I know that this is correct. So I didn't need to type in this, right? Which means that I'm not making an error. I'm not potentially making an error, just a typo or something. In this plan, which was not my plan, there were a bunch of typos, and I've corrected them largely through just creating systems that utilize macros, which is awesome. Yeah, I got to take a break though. I really did want to finish that ridge vent calc, oh, on camera, but maybe I'll do it in another session. So. Um, all your projects block masonry exterior wall, so it's 9'4", 10'0". Is the 10'0" coming from the size of the block itself? Because I mean, a 10-foot ceiling is nominally the finished floor to the finished ceiling, and that would be a 10-foot ceiling. Has nothing to do with the block size. So unless that particular type of construction is different, yeah. I mean, that would be pretty silly for the industry of masonry and blocks and the way they're building to not match up with our standard for woodcut studs and pre-cut studs. That would be unheard of. So I'd check it out. Go talk to a builder. Because if you've got a combination masonry block wall and combination wood framing wall, we're going to buy pre-cut 10-foot studs. All right, guys, I'm going to jump off for now. Maybe I'll be on later. Thanks for joining the feed.